Okay, hey guys. So, if you watch my other videos, um, I'm I have done several videos today, so that's why I'm wearing the same black shirt. I decided to go ahead and make these videos, make a whole bunch of videos in a row because, of course, I work. So, even though I don't work that long hours, I only work like 4 hours, maybe close to 5 hours. But of course, you come home, you're really tired and I work in retail, so I'm on my feet all day. So I just don't feel like filming videos. So I'm getting into the habit of pre-filming my videos because I found out, on here you can schedule when you post your videos, which is really awesome. So I'm filming one more video this evening before I go for my run, and that video is my book haul because I have done a lot of shopping lately, buying books, which even though I told myself I wouldn't, I unfortunately am an impulsive book buyer, and I see books, pretty shiny books, and I have to buy them. Although when I went to the country bookstore yesterday, there wasn't anything that seriously jumped out at me, but I did buy 2 books. I mean, it's not that they didn't jump out at me, but it wasn't like I absolutely have to I have to have this book. Like it wasn't like I have been waiting to buy this book and I see it there, and so okay. So as I've mentioned, our used bookstore constantly, repeatedly, and the most expensive book is $5 usually. I mean, sometimes there's special books that are $6. Like coffee table books, I think are $6. Um, so I saw this book there at the used bookstore. It was a staff recommendation, and it was even I think that made it even cheaper actually. I've constantly heard about this novel, and there's I forgot this was in there. Um, this is really cool because they gave out free bookmarks, and this was one of, and they I guess decided to offer postcards as bookmarks. So I saw this there and ended up getting it, which is it's really cool. Um, And there's also, as everybody knows, there's a movie starring Emma Watson and Tom Hanks that came out. So I decided to go ahead and buy it. It was a staff recommendation, and I don't think I would find it any cheaper anywhere else. So I went ahead and bought it, and along with, let's see what else did I buy that day. Oh wait, there's one more book I forgot. There's also. So I also bought this book. I think this was the book I bought that day as well. About Zelda Fitzgerald, like a biography on her. And this is a hardback edition. Of course, hardbacks in most places are like $20, $30. So I was like, I've been wanting to check this book out, and where am I going to find it any cheaper? So I bought this one, and I love the 1920s. I thought that was, and I've kind of been very interested in F. Scott Fitzgerald, and his book, what is it called? I'm having drawing blank here. The Great Gatsby. I love that book. It's one of my favorite classics. So I decided to buy a book on his wife, a biography about his wife. Which actually I did read The Paris Wife, which is about Ernest Hemingway's first wife. So and I definitely think it's interesting, the stories of the wives that are married to artists like that. I always think it's very interesting, their opinion and their perspective on their husbands. So I got that one. Let's see, what else did I get? Okay. I rebought this. I've been wanting to rebuy Kate Morden's books for a long time because I gave them to a friend because I felt my best friend, I felt like she would really enjoy them. So I gave them to her to read. I don't know if she ever will read them. I hope she will, because these are amazing, beautiful books. I know, of course, she's back at school right now, so it's kind of hard for her to read for pleasure. And these books are pretty dense. I am in love with this author. She is one of my all-time favorite historical fiction authors. And this was the first book of hers that I fell in love with because I think my mom or my sister got it for me. Because from what they I guess read the back of it and everything, read the description, all that, and she sounded like an author that I would like. They would really get into. So they bought the book for me one year for Christmas, and ever since then I have fallen in love with this author, and her writing style and her stories are so beautiful, and I definitely recommend them. So next, let's see. So like I've said in previous videos that I've been trying to get back into Steinbeck and give him more of a chance. So I bought The Grapes of Wrath from the used bookstore. It was, it was like $4 or $5. So it wasn't that expensive. And, you're not going to find these nice editions, for that good of a price. So I ended up buying Grapes of Wrath. And as you know, I have East of Eden, and I have a whole collection of his short novels in like an omnibus collection I got one year for Christmas because I really love those Barnes & Noble hardback special editions that are like really nice. They all look like old books, like really old-fashioned books, and they have a collections of the author's previous work, all their works. And I have Steinbeck's for all his short novels, like The Red Pony, Of Mice and Men, The Pearl, and a few others. So I bought those two as well. But all these are on different days, though. I didn't do a huge book buying, buying a whole bunch of books. I also got these books because I love the 1700s. I've always been really interested in that time period, despite the fact that I don't get the whole powdered wig thing. To me, that's just plain weird. But I know that back then the hygiene wasn't great, and they were prone to lose their hair. So, and I was always interested in the American Revolution and the Civil War. So, I don't know if these are. Well, I think this is the American Revolution, and I think this is the Civil War. So I bought both these books. This is about Benedict Arnold's wife. Everyone, if you know your history, you know Benedict Arnold betrayed America, and this is basically about his wife, which I think in that series, the series Turn, which is about the whole American Revolution and everything. And Benedict Arnold is a character, and I believe his wife is played by the same actress who played Beau's best friend in the series, in the sci-fi series, I can't remember what it's called. The one where there's a girl who's she's a succubus and everything, and I can't remember. It's been so long. And I think the actress from that show who played Beau's best friend, I think she is the one who played Benedict Arnold's wife in Turn, which is something that I wanted to get into. I want to try again, but the series is almost done, so there might be no point. And I also want to check out that miniseries John Adams that was on HBO starring, what is his name? I can see his face. I can picture him. What is his name? It will come to me. However, he played John Adams. I've been wanting to get into that series. And then this one, I think, is about, I think it's based on a true story, actually, or a true historical figure, General Hood, and his his wife, the one who becomes his wife, he's like retired from the war, and he meets his wife, and she accepts that he has a lot of history that's not good. That is a really bad summary, but I'm never very good at summaries, so I'm gonna read those two. I got those two. These are also books I would like to try to read the next few months. Some of them, anyway. And I don't know when I got this one. I don't know when I got this one with which of these books I got this one. But this is an author I have heard about from some of the booktubers I watch. Sarah Waters. It's set in the 20s. I think this was around the time when I got the book. It was either between this one and another book that I ended up buying the other day. This is set in the 1920s in London. And I don't want to read these summaries for you guys. It is 1922 London, and London is tense. Ex-servicemen are disillusioned and out of work. The hungry are demanding change. In the south of the city, in a quiet house in the genteel Champion Hill, life is about to be transformed. Widowed Miss Ray and her unmarried daughter, Frances, find themselves obliged to take in tenants. The arrival of Lillian and Leonard Barber, a modern young couple of the emerging middle class, brings unsettling things with it. Lively music, colorful clothing, open doors, and fun. As Lillian and Frances are drawn into an unexpected friendship, loyalties begin to shift. Secrets are confessed. Dangerous desires admitted. The most ordinary of lives, it seems, it can explode into passion and drama. And in the house on Champion Hill, no one could foresee just how far the disturbances will reach. So, as I've said before, I love the 1920s. So, it sounded like something really interesting. And like I said, I don't mind reading contemporary or, well, that's not contemporary. So, never mind. This doesn't count. So, forget what I was about to say. Okay, so, let's see. So, because our used bookstore there, they kind of sort of had a Black Friday sale. It wasn't actually called Black Friday sale or anything like that, but you could buy one book and get two for free, which is totally awesome. So, damn it, go away. Sorry, I accidentally downloaded some protection thing, and now every time I turn on the computer, it offers all these discounts and stuff, and like, oh, your computer has this many viruses, you need to buy this to, like, get rid of them, and I don't want to buy anything, but I'm kind of dumb when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, I ended up buying 3 books. I have been debating this one for a while, but it's not that expensive, so even if I don't like it, I could just donate it back to the bookstore. The Bronze Horseman. It's a romance, it's an epic romance, kind of like Gone with the Wind in the 1940s. It's during the Russian, what was going on. I don't know what the name of that, I actually don't know what they would call that, but it was going on during that time when Stalin was in charge, the reign of terror, I guess. And it's this sweeping romance, and I've just heard a lot of it. Sam from Thoughts on Tomes talk about it, and there's other readers that, although Sam from Thoughts on Tomes and another booktuber who she recommended, and I decided to go ahead and check her out, did not like this book. But I'm going to go read it anyway. And it's not that I got it for, like $5, like $4 or $5, so it wasn't that expensive. Although this one might have been one of the free books anyway. So, I also got, and like I said, I got the Paying Guest. Paying Guest is this book by Sarah Waters. It was between this book, and I ended up buying this one. I wanted to buy one before I got picked up, I think, or before it got too late. because they end up, it sort of closes. I mean, you can still buy a book because the little coffee house that's inside of the store is still open until 6. So they live by the honor system where you just give. I mean, this town is a retirement community, so it's a small town. It's not, it's pretty. They don't have a lot of crime here, so I mean, so they are pretty good. They go by the honor system, and they expect you to pay the right amount of money. I don't even. So you can, when you buy books there, you just give them, when it's closing for them, they'll let you buy books. Just put your money in this little box. And I couldn't bring myself to steal a book. I just can't. Which is not. I mean, you shouldn't be able to bring yourself to steal something. That's wrong. But apparently I heard somewhere, on the news, some father said that thievery was not that big of a deal, which, I mean, compared to things like murder, yeah, it's not, but it's still a criminal act. You're still stealing something that someone else worked hard for, or someone who is making a living off of selling these books, or whatever product you steal. So it's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, so I ended up buying that book because it was the deal, and it was still there. So the problem with the used bookstore, sometimes the books you set your eye on, you decide to not to get them that day, they might not be there again. So I ended up buying this one. This is kind of another historical fiction type where it goes between the past and the present. I love those stories because you get history, but you also get some like a present day situation. And this is basically about there's something to do with the Holy Grail, I think. And there's someone is supposed to, one of the main characters is meant to protect the Holy Grail, and there's this whole labyrinth to get to where it might be, and I don't know. But it definitely sounded like something right up my alley. And like I said, I don't know if it was in this video or another one of my videos, but I decided because it would be cheap, it wouldn't be cheap anywhere else. So I bought the Goldfinch, the other Donna Tartt book. There are other Donna Tartt books, I believe, at that bookstore. So if it's still there when the next time I go shopping there, then I'll probably buy it. But I did start The Secret History. So I bought this one. It's weird though. From what I've heard, people either you love The Secret History or you love this book. And if you love one of them, you hate the other one. It just isn't as good. So, although I'll probably be one of those people who loves both books. So I'm gonna read this one at some point. And like I said, you wouldn't find it cheaper anywhere else with this used bookstore. So it's totally awesome. And then we went to the country bookstore in Southern Pines, which is the town over, and I ended up getting 2 books, and I got 20% off too, because I purchased 2 books, so I guess it rounded up to $30, and the little sign said that if you make a purchase for $30 or more, then you get a little bit of a you get a discount. You get to choose what discount you want. So I bought this one, The Velveteen Daughter, by Laura Davis Huber. The Velveteen Rabbit was one of my favorite children's books, and it is, so this is about the author and her daughter, and I guess the daughter was the artist of the books, it sounds like, because it says in the summary that the daughter is an artist, a very gifted artist. So I'm guessing she was the one, the daughter painted the pictures, because in my copy there are pictures of beautiful, exquisite images in the book, and it's about the mother, and I love this kind of historical fiction. It's so beautiful. They're such amazing stories. And then last but not least, the other book I bought that day was this one, War of the Roses Bloodline, which I think is an easier read version of the whole story of the War of the Roses, which was a famous historical war between feuding medieval families, essentially. And that's actually, I think, like, George R. R. Martin was inspired by the War of the Roses for his Song of Ice and Fire series. So I bought this book, and what's great is, like I said, it looks like it's written in a way that's a little easier to get into, because, I mean, those mass paperback books are just really hard to get into sometimes, because the print is small, and sometimes it's just really hard to get into them, and it takes a long time to read them. So that is my book haul. Those are the books I bought recently. Have you guys bought any books recently? What have you bought lately? What books are you currently reading? And if you are, and like if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And I will talk to you guys later. Alright, bye.